On a moonlit night at sea, where luxury knows no bounds, and every corner of the grand ship whispers a promise of allure and mystery, three lives intertwine in a dance of passion and peril. This is not just any journey, it's a voyage where love becomes a dangerous game and secrets lurk beneath the polished veneer of opulence. Imagine yourself amidst this floating city, where the horizon stretches infinitely and the possibilities seem endless. Yet beneath this shimmering surface, a tangled web of desire and deceit spins, leading to a chilling night that will forever mar the serenity of these waters. Stay with us as we unravel the dark intricacies of this love triangle, set against the backdrop of a cruise ship where affluence meets an ominous fate. What unfolds is a narrative filled with suspense, marked by unexpected turns and revelations that will keep you questioning the true nature of love, loyalty, and the shadows that lie just beyond our view. Prepare for a story that challenges the line between romance and rivalry, and ultimately, life and death. The cruise ship is nothing short of a majestic floating palace, a testament to luxury and elegance as it glides effortlessly over the vast blue expanse. From the moment you step aboard, you're greeted by a world that seems crafted from dreams. The grand atrium, with its sweeping staircases and crystal chandeliers, bathes the space in a golden glow, setting the tone for an adventure wrapped in sophistication. As you wander through its lavish corridors, you encounter an array of opulent amenities that promise an indulgence like no other. The on-deck pool sparkles like a sapphire under the sun, surrounded by plush lounges where passengers sip champagne and bask in leisure. Inside, the lavish dining halls echo with laughter, their tables laden with culinary masterpieces that tempt and delight the senses. Each suite is a haven of comfort, complete with plush bedding, panoramic windows, and personalized service that anticipates your every need. Yet beyond the tangible luxuries lies the intangible allure of freedom. As the ship sails away from the familiar shores, it offers its passengers an escape from reality, a chance to leave behind the mundane and step into a world where every night could be a masquerade ball and every day a leisurely exploration of exotic ports. There's a sense of enchantment in the air, a whispered promise that anything could happen amidst this ocean-bound utopia. But beneath the sparkling lights and carefree laughter, the ship holds its secrets close, unaware of the storm brewing just below the surface, a storm marked by love, betrayal, and the chilling grasp of fate. As the vessel cuts through the water, its serene journey is oblivious to the dark undercurrents that will soon emerge, entwining the lives aboard in a narrative both unforgettable and haunting. Among the grandeur of the ship, three lives converge to form the center of a gripping tale. Meet Emily, a vivacious spirit with a magnetic charm that draws others to her like moths to a flame. She is an artist, a dreamer with an insatiable thirst for adventure and an eye for beauty in the unexpected. Her canvas is the world around her, and on this journey, she seeks inspiration in the swaying ocean and the vibrant tapestry of fellow travelers. Her heart, though generous and open, carries a secret, a longing for a connection that transcends the ordinary. Then there is James, a suave and enigmatic businessman whose presence commands attention and respect. With a sharp intellect and a keen sense of ambition, he navigates the seas of commerce with confidence. Yet behind his polished exterior lies a vulnerability, a yearning for companionship that he cloaks behind his ever-present smile and impeccable suits. His path crosses with Emily's, igniting a spark that promises both warmth and potential danger. Finally, we have Lucas, whose easygoing nature and warm heart make him a beloved figure among the ship's passengers. A musician by passion, his melodies float through the air, bringing joy and unity to those who listen. His deep connection with Emily is built on years of friendship, underscored by moments of unspoken affection. As the ship sails further from familiar shores, Lucas finds himself at a crossroads, torn between his loyalty to Emily and his growing suspicion of James's intentions. These three lives, each distinct yet intertwined, draw closer as the ship charts its course. Emily's vibrant curiosity pulls her between the steadfast loyalty of Lucas and the enticing allure of James. As the waves rise and fall, so too do their emotions, setting the stage for a drama that will unfurl amidst the ship's opulent halls. In the heart of this voyage, amid whispers of the sea and the soft glow of twilight, their destinies are set on a collision course. What begins as a simple journey of escapism becomes a complex tapestry woven with passion, rivalry, and a mystery that will haunt the corridors of this floating palace. As we continue, we will explore how these intricate relationships spiral into a web of tension and unanticipated twists, leading to an unforgettable night of reckoning. Stay with us as we delve deeper into the motivations and secrets that bind these players in a deadly dance of fate. The spark that ignited this delicate triangle began innocently enough, under the soft glow of a seaside sunset. The cruise had just set sail, a world of endless possibilities unfurling on the horizon, and it was amidst this serene backdrop that Emily first encountered James. Their meeting was unplanned, yet seemed almost destined, as if the universe had conspired to bring them together at that precise moment. Emily found herself captivated by James's eloquence and the depth in his eyes that suggested untold stories waiting to be shared. Their conversations flowed like the tide, each word weaving a tapestry of shared dreams and aspirations. It was during these exchanges that a subtle, yet undeniable, connection began to form, one that promised both excitement and unpredictability. Meanwhile, Lucas observed from nearby, a mix of admiration and unease washing over him. His bond with Emily was rooted in years of shared experiences and mutual understanding, yet he couldn't help but notice the new spark in her eyes when she spoke of James. It was a spark that both intrigued and troubled him, stirring a whirlwind of emotions he hadn't fully acknowledged until that moment. As the days on the cruise passed, Emily found herself navigating between the spirited camaraderie with Lucas and the burgeoning intrigue with James. Little gestures, a lingering glance, a shared laugh began to create ripples in the calm waters of their relationships. What started as a curiosity soon grew into a complex interplay of emotions, each person drawn further into the other's orbit. Emily, captivated by James's magnetic charisma, felt a pull towards his world of new opportunities and uncharted territories. At the same time, the familiar warmth she shared with Lucas provided her with a comforting anchor. It was a delicate balance, one that tipped ever so slightly with each passing day, as the ship sailed into open waters and the lines between friendship and something more began to blur. This evolving dynamic, unseen at first, laid the groundwork for what would become a tale of passion, rivalry, and heartache. The gentle camaraderie that defined their earlier interactions started to give way to subtle tensions and competing desires. In the midst of the vast ocean, where time seemed to stand still, the trio drifted into a narrative that would test the boundaries of loyalty and the depths of their hearts. As night fell and the ship gently swayed with the rhythm of the sea, the foundation of their fateful triangle became more apparent, setting the stage for the unfolding drama that lay ahead. The echoes of laughter and music that drifted through the ship's corridors now held an undercurrent of anticipation, a silent drumbeat leading to the night when everything would change. Jealousy, like a shadow, began to creep into the blissful ambience that had previously enveloped the trio. Each day carried with it whispered conversations and glances heavy with unspoken emotions. Emily found herself caught in an emotional whirlpool, feeling torn between the steady comfort of Lucas and the thrilling allure of James. It wasn't long before others on the ship noticed the subtle changes in their dynamic. A casual remark here, a lingering gaze there, and the once harmonious camaraderie began to show cracks. During a lively evening gala, where laughter echoed like the clinking of glasses, a seemingly innocuous dance between Emily and James caught Lucas's attention. It wasn't just the dance itself, but the intensity in their eyes that spoke volumes of a deepening connection. Lucas, usually relaxed and easygoing, couldn't shake the growing unease that gnawed at him, leading to a heated exchange with Emily later that night on a quiet, moonlit deck. What started as a conversation about their long-standing friendship escalated into questions of trust and loyalty, leaving a lingering tension in the air. Meanwhile, James, aware of Lucas's discomfort, began to relish the subtle power he held, sometimes pushing boundaries just to test the waters. A late-night chess match with Emily turned into a private conversation that excluded Lucas, fueling the silent storm brewing within him. These small skirmishes, seemingly insignificant on their own, began to weave a complex tapestry of rivalry and suspicion. Emily's heart, a battlefield of its own, found itself oscillating between the safety of what she knew and the excitement of what could be. It was during a late afternoon excursion to an exotic port that the tension reached its peak. A disagreement over the day's plans led to a public confrontation, a first for the trio, and it sent ripples through the once placid social circles aboard. Raised voices, eyes filled with hurt, and words that couldn't be taken back marked a turning point in their journey. The ship, with its serene promise of escape, now felt small and suffocating, a vessel of secrets and growing animosity. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the ocean in hues of fiery orange and deep indigo, the reality of their fractured connections settled over them like an ominous nightfall. The oncoming storm seemed inevitable, a consequence of emotions left unchecked and words left unspoken. With each passing wave, the ship carried them closer to a night that none could foresee, a night when the hidden tensions would finally explode with deadly consequence. Stay with us as we continue to unveil the threads of fate that bind these lives, leading us into the depths of a mystery that will captivate and chill your very core. The fatal night descended with a deceptive calmness as the ship cut smoothly through the moonlit waves, its lights a beacon of warmth against the vast expanse of darkness. The rhythmic sound of the sea was a gentle lullaby, masking the turbulent emotions that brewed beneath the surface. The gala dinner was in full swing in the grand ballroom, crystal chandeliers casting a soft glow over elegant figures clad in evening finery. Yet amid the laughter and clinking glasses, an undercurrent of tension made its presence known, palpable to those who dared to look beyond the surface. Emily, dressed in an exquisite gown that seemed to ripple like water with every step, found herself at the center of a gathering storm. The evening had started with a promise of joy, her dance card filled and her spirits lifted by the lively atmosphere. Yet as she moved from one conversation to the next, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of eyes lingering longer than mere curiosity would dictate. Lucas, his usual jovial demeanor strained, watched her from across the room, a mix of longing and unease etched into his features. His heart, a stubborn drum in his chest, beat with the certainty of an impending revelation. Meanwhile, James, ever the charmer, navigated the crowd with ease, his gaze occasionally locking with Emily's in a way that sent shivers down her spine. As the evening wore on, the trio found themselves on the expansive observation deck, drawn together by some invisible force, their words laced with the tension of unresolved conflict. The air was crisp with the tang of salt, yet warm enough to linger without discomfort. A sharp exchange between Lucas and James broke the tentative silence, their words cutting through the night like glass. Emily stood between them, her heart a tumultuous sea caught in the winds of their confrontation. Suddenly, the ship swayed gently, an unexpected motion that mirrored the instability of her own emotions. Witnesses later recalled seeing them step back inside, the argument unfinished but simmering beneath the surface. What transpired next remains a haunting mystery. A single urgent cry pierced the night, echoing through the hollow halls of the deck. It was Emily's voice, layered with a mix of fear and desperation. By the time crew members and curious passengers arrived, the scene was chaos. James lay crumpled on the deck, the life seemingly snuffed out of him like a candle in the wind. As murmurs spread among the gathering crowd, Emily stood trembling, her hands stained with crimson, a ghostly pallor on her face. Lucas hovered nearby, his expression one of shock and confusion, as if the reality of the situation was slowly sinking in. The immediate aftermath was a blur of activity. Crew members rushed to secure the scene, while others fetched the ship's doctor. Passengers, drawn by the commotion, whispered theories and exchanged glances heavy with speculation. The opulent ship, which had once felt like a sanctuary, now seemed to hold its breath, caught in the thrall of tragedy. As the clock ticked toward midnight, the ship's captain ordered the ballroom to be cleared and an official investigation to commence. It was clear that the night of elegance had twisted into a night of horror, leaving a trail of questions and broken lives in its wake. As the ship continued its journey through the night, the promise of the open sea seemed only to deepen the mystery, setting the stage for an unfolding drama that would hold the world in its grip. Stay with us as we delve into the investigation that follows, uncovering the secrets of that fateful night and the truth that lies beneath the shadows. The investigation into the unfolding tragedy began with a flurry of hushed voices and hurried movements as passengers and crew alike grappled with the shocking events of the night. In the early hours, a sense of disbelief pervaded the ship as guests gathered in small clusters, their expressions a mix of concern and curiosity. Whispers spread like wildfire, each person eager to piece together what little they knew. The crew, typically composed and hospitable, now wore the strain of responsibility heavily on their shoulders. The captain, a steady presence amidst the chaos, convened with security personnel to ensure all evidence was preserved and to initiate a preliminary inquiry. Initial theories buzzed across the ship, each more speculative than the last. Some passengers pondered if it was a tragic accident, a misstep in the dim light of the observation deck leading to a fatal fall. Others proposed a more sinister theory, suggesting the love triangle was a powder keg waiting to explode. Conversations drifted to the possible motives and dynamics among Emily, Lucas, and James. As the sun crept over the horizon, casting a new light on the ship, the initial reactions began to crystallize into a poignant tension. Theories emerged not only from passengers, but also from the crew who had observed the trio's interactions over the voyage. Some crew members recalled seeing James and Emily engrossed in heated discussions, their gestures animated and intense. Witnesses recounted fragments of conversations caught in passing, snippets that hinted at jealousy and unresolved emotions. Meanwhile, others noted a change in Lucas's demeanor leading up to that night, a quiet intensity that seemed at odds with his normally affable nature. Throughout the ship, a narrative began to form, influenced as much by fact as it was by speculation. Some guests speculated about external involvement, a passenger unseen, or a shadowy figure who might have gone unnoticed in the crowd. The ship, once a symbol of luxury and adventure, now felt like a stage for human drama of the most profound order. As officials prepared to dock at the nearest port for a full investigation, the atmosphere on board shifted from shock to a solemn anticipation, eager for clarity yet apprehensive of the truths that might surface. With each passing wave, the cruise ship carried not only its passengers, but also the weight of a mystery that called for unraveling, a puzzle that would demand patience, insight, and an unwavering quest for justice. The investigation into the mysterious events on that ill-fated night was launched with a meticulous urgency. As the cruise ship docked at a nearby port, a team of seasoned investigators boarded, each with a resolve to uncover the truth hidden in the ship's corridors. Their first task was to secure the scene of the tragedy, ensuring that no detail, however minor, went unnoticed. The observation deck, now eerily silent compared to the lively gala it had hosted, became the epicenter of their efforts. Interviews were conducted with those nearest to the unfolding drama, the crew and passengers who had interacted with Emily, Lucas, and James. These discussions revealed a tapestry of perspectives and fragmented memories, each offering pieces of a puzzle that needed careful assembly. Witnesses spoke of whispered arguments and furtive glances exchanged in the days leading up to that night, while others recounted seeing Emily and James in animated discussions that hinted at deeper tensions. Forensic analysis became a cornerstone of the investigation. Experts meticulously examined the deck for any traces of a struggle or signs of foul play. Every inch of the area was scrutinized, from the scuff marks on the wooden planks to the patterned footprints that told silent stories of who had been there and when. The investigators faced numerous obstacles, not the least of which was the interconnected nature of the relationships at play. Emily's bond with both James and Lucas complicated the narrative, weaving an intricate web of emotional motivations that proved challenging to untangle. As the inquiry continued, they encountered the age-old dilemma of memory loss and bias, as witnesses' recollections varied and at times contradicted one another. Despite these challenges, forensic evidence began to paint a clearer picture. Analysis of the blood stains, fibers found on clothing, and the trajectory of movement on the deck all contributed to a growing body of evidence. The ship, while sprawling and filled with hidden nooks, offered clues: a strand of hair, a misplaced cufflink, traces of perfume lingering in the air like ghostly echoes. Yet, the deeper the investigators delved, the more questions arose. What truly transpired in that brief exchange on the deck? Was it jealousy taken to its fatal extreme, or was there an external force yet to be uncovered? As these pieces of evidence slowly came together, the investigators knew that the ultimate truth remained elusive, locked within the hearts and minds of the key players. As they continued their relentless pursuit of justice, the ship, once a vessel of escape, now sailed under the weight of unresolved mystery and the quest for answers that lay just beyond the horizon. As the investigation unfolded, a cloud of suspicion began to hover over the once glittering cruise ship, casting a deep shadow on its opulent halls. Accusations flew like arrows in the court of public opinion, each pointing fingers at different corners of the intricate love triangle. Emily, still shaken and pale, found herself at the center of a storm she never anticipated. Her relationship with both James and Lucas was scrutinized under the harsh light of inquiry, each interaction dissected for hidden motives and clues. Her alibi, though consistent with her claim of an accidental push during a heated exchange, was met with skepticism by some passengers who recalled witnessing moments of tension between her and James. The ship buzzed with whispered speculations. Some believed Emily's frustrations had reached a boiling point, leading to a tragic accident. Lucas, usually the personification of calm, now found himself ensnared in a net of allegations. His demeanor on the fateful night, described by a few as unusually tense, drew attention from both investigators and passengers alike. His long-standing friendship with Emily was both a shield and a sword. While it spoke of loyalty, some questioned if a deeper, more possessive love had driven him to eliminate perceived competition. Eyewitnesses remembered seeing him leaving the gala in haste, a detail Lucas explained as a need to clear his head, yet it remained a point of contention. James, though now reduced to a haunting memory, was not immune to suspicion either. Theories arose questioning his enigmatic past, suggesting that hidden enemies or debts might have played a role in his untimely demise. Those who had known him spoke of his charm and wit, yet a few whispered of shady dealings that followed him like a shadow. The more the layers were peeled back, the more complex his story became, filled with gaps that seemed impossible to fill. These conflicting stories and alibis elongated the shadows of doubt, each piece of testimony adding a new layer of complexity to the narrative. An emerging pattern began to take shape, not of a clear-cut crime, but a mosaic of human emotion, where jealousy, love, and desperation intertwined. Friends became potential foes, allies turned into adversaries, and in the middle of it all, the truth danced elusively beyond reach. With each interrogation and revelation, the ship's atmosphere thickened with a sense of impending resolution. Yet the path to the truth seemed fraught with missteps and diversions. As the cruise ship continued its voyage, the question weighed heavily in every passenger's mind: who among them was capable of turning a love story into a lethal tragedy, and why? The answers, as intricate as the ocean below, awaited discovery as the pursuit of justice sailed onward. The trial, a highly anticipated event, began under the watchful eyes of a captivated public, each day unfolding like a chapter in a gripping novel. As the courtroom bustled with a mix of anticipation and solemnity, the air was thick with expectation, each bench filled by those eager to witness the unveiling of the truth. Emily took her place in the seat of the accused, her expression a portrait of quiet resolve, tinged with the weight of the ordeal she faced. Seated opposite her were the prosecution, steely-eyed and determined, armed with a strategy built on the intricacies of the evidence gathered from the ship. Their approach centered around painting a picture of a woman driven by emotion to a point where reason gave way to impulse. They called upon witnesses who recalled seeing Emily in intense discussions with James, each testimony adding to the narrative of a love triangle teetering on the brink of disaster. Key pieces of evidence, including the traces of a struggle on the observation deck and forensic findings, were meticulously presented, each detail carefully woven into a tapestry of motive and opportunity. Meanwhile, the defense team worked tirelessly to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative, sculpting an alternative interpretation that emphasized the possibility of an accident amidst heightened emotions. They highlighted Emily's history of integrity and her lack of violent tendencies, challenging the notion that she could have intentionally caused harm. Their strategy included presenting Lucas as a character witness, shedding light on Emily's caring nature and the emotional turmoil she faced on that fateful night. The defense also questioned the reliability of the eyewitness accounts, suggesting that emotions and assumptions had clouded their recollections. Throughout the proceedings, the courtroom bore witness to moments of raw human emotion, each testimony a glimpse into the complex web of relationships and emotions that had woven their fate. Lucas's testimony was particularly poignant, his voice steady yet carrying the weight of loss as he recounted the events leading up to the tragic night. His words painted a picture of a friendship strained yet enduring, hinting at the conflicts and connections that defined their shared journey. As the trial progressed, the strategies played out like a chess game, each side anticipating and countering the moves of the other. Yet beneath the legal maneuvering lay a deeper quest for truth, a search for resolution that extended beyond the confines of the courtroom. The jurors, faces a mix of concentration and empathy, absorbed each argument and exhibit, tasked with untangling the labyrinth of evidence and emotion. Public opinion, swayed by media coverage, hovered over the proceedings like a specter, adding external pressure to an already charged atmosphere. Each day ended with the world waiting anxiously for the verdict that could alter the course of Emily's life and offer a semblance of closure to all those involved. With the conclusion of the trial drawing near, the courtroom felt on the cusp of revelation, a heartbeat away from delivering a verdict that would echo through the lives of all who had been caught in the turbulent wake of love and loss. The story that began on the opulent ship was now a search for justice, the answers lingering like whispers amid the silence of the courtroom, waiting for that decisive moment when the gavel would fall and the truth, perhaps at last, would surface. The trial became a media spectacle, captivating audiences far beyond the courtroom's walls. As headlines blared across the nation and news anchors dissected the drama, each broadcast wove a narrative that both illuminated and obscured the truth. The cruise ship tragedy became a fixation, a real-life drama that gripped the public's imagination with its blend of romance, betrayal, and untimely death. Media outlets, eager for captivating content, crafted stories that often leaned into the sensational, painting Emily as either a femme fatale caught in a dangerous game or a tragic figure ensnared by circumstances beyond her control. Each portrayal tugged at public emotions, swaying opinion like a ship in a storm. Social media platforms buzzed with discourse, where countless voices weighed in, each with their own interpretation of events. Hashtags trending worldwide transformed the courtroom proceedings into a communal experience, inviting armchair detectives to speculate, debate, and occasionally hurl accusations from behind the safety of screens. Public opinion was as divided as the courtroom itself, some perceiving the trial as a gross miscarriage of justice, while others saw it as a straightforward case of negligence or malice. The court of public opinion, unburdened by the rules of evidence and procedure, often favored the most compelling narrative rather than the most probable truth. In the midst of this media storm, the families and friends of those involved found themselves thrust into an unwanted spotlight, their lives picked apart by strangers hungry for a deeper understanding of their pain. Support groups and opinion leaders emerged, each advocating for their own version of justice, further fueling the fire of speculation. The influence of media narrative extended beyond simple storytelling, affecting the perceptions of jurors and legal representatives alike. Under the watchful eyes of a worldwide audience, each decision carried weight not only within the courtroom, but also in the broader world beyond. As the trial progressed, the cacophony of opinions swelled into a crescendo, shaping the backdrop against which the legal struggle unfolded. The tale that began on a serene ocean voyage had transformed into a cultural phenomenon, a true crime odyssey that underscored the delicate balance between fact and fiction in a world saturated by information. Yet amid this whirlwind, the pursuit of justice marched steadily on, navigating the tides of public sentiment in its quest to uncover the truth. The verdict delivered in the hushed courtroom marked a pivotal moment in this saga, a culmination of months of probing investigations and emotional testimonies. The judge, seated at the helm of authority, announced the decision with gravity, a decision that hinged on complex interpretations of intent and circumstance. Emily, whose fate had been the subject of intense scrutiny, stood silently as the verdict was read aloud, guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The words hung in the air, heavy and final, like the closing of a chapter. Sentenced to 5 years of imprisonment, with the possibility of parole, the reality of her fate seeped into the room like a chilling mist. For some, it was a moment of relief, a confirmation that justice in its form had been served. Others felt a pang of dissatisfaction, questioning whether the nuances of human emotion and the chaotic entanglements of relationships had been fully considered. Emily's expression was a mosaic of resignation and quiet strength, her eyes reflecting the turbulent journey that had led to this point. As she departed the courtroom, murmured support from friends intertwined with the whispers of those still unconvinced of her culpability. Lucas, standing amid the tide of emotions, displayed a silent resilience, grappling with the bittersweet conclusion of a trial that had tested the very foundations of friendship and trust. His face was a canvas, painted with relief at Emily's lenient sentence, yet shadowed by the grief of their shared loss. Families of the involved parties bore their own weight in this verdict, each member digesting the outcome through the lens of personal grief and healing. The sentence, while a resolution, left lingering questions that gnawed at the edges of closure. Was the punishment too lenient or too harsh? Did it aptly address the complexities of a tragedy where love, rivalry, and unintended consequences collided? As the dust settled, the echoes of this trial reverberated beyond the courtroom, prompting introspection among all who followed the case. It posed enduring questions about the nature of justice, the boundaries of accountability, and the intricate web of human emotion that defies black and white judgments. In its wake, the trial left a community and a world pondering, could true justice ever be served in matters of the heart, where the lines between victim and perpetrator blur into shades of grey. The aftermath of the tragic events aboard the luxurious cruise ship rippled far beyond its sun-drenched decks, casting a long shadow over the lives of those involved and echoing within the broader community. Emily's life, once filled with the vibrant colours of artistic aspiration, now bore the muted tones of introspection and rebuilding. In the quiet of her prison cell, she found herself grappling with the duality of remorse and resilience. The journey of self-awareness and redemption would be arduous, marked by letters exchanged with friends and the occasional visit from family, their faces a bittersweet reminder of a world both lost and longed for. Her time in confinement became an evolution of spirit, a chance for reflection, and the hopeful embrace of a new beginning when the path of redemption finally led her back into the world. Lucas, too, bore the weight of tragedy's aftermath, his melodies once a source of joy, now tinged with haunting notes of loss and longing. The bond he shared with Emily had transformed, evolving from camaraderie into a quiet companionship, nurtured through letters and rare visits. His own journey became one of healing and purpose, seeking solace in music that both mourned and celebrated the intertwined fates of love and loss. On stage, his performances resonated with audiences who, in the intimacy of song, found solace and unity in shared grief and hope. The families of Emily, Lucas, and James navigated their own paths through the labyrinth of healing, grappling with the complexities of forgiveness, understanding, and moving forward. They became part of a tapestry of support, bonded by shared loss and the desire for healing, their connections reshaping into networks of strength that transcended the aftermath of tragedy. Beyond the personal stories, the wider community absorbed the shockwaves of the cruise ship's somber tale. Lessons emerged, discussions formed, and an awareness of the delicate balances between passion and consequence took root. Workshops on emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and the impact of media narratives became a focal point for growth, encouraging dialogue that spanned generations and diverse perspectives. The cruise line, too, took heed, implementing programs focused on passenger and crew wellness, cultivating an environment that prioritized mental health and the awareness of unseen tensions. The tale of the fateful cruise became more than a wrongful act. It became a catalyst for change, a reflection on the nature of human connections, the complexities of emotion, and the enduring question of justice in matters of the heart. As the ship sailed on, now a vessel of lessons learned and futures reimagined, lives once entangled in a deadly dance found new steps on paths toward healing and hope. Through it all, the story endured, a reminder of life's fragile beauty and the capacity for growth and resilience that resides within us all. Lessons learned from this heartbreaking case echo through the corridors of human experience, shining a light on the delicate threads that weave love and longing with the shadows of jealousy and rivalry. This tragic tale, set against the grandeur of a cruise ship, underscores the unpredictable nature of passion, a force that can ignite the most profound connections, yet tiptoe perilously close to danger. At its core, this story reminds us of the power love holds over our decisions and the ways in which it can both elevate and unmoor us. Emily, Lucas, and James's intertwined lives reveal how love, when entangled with unspoken fears and unguarded desires, can create a tempest capable of altering destinies in a heartbeat. Their narrative cautions us to recognize the signs of jealousy, not as mere moments of envy, but as signals of deeper, unaddressed emotions that, if left unchecked, can spiral into irreversible actions. It prompts each of us to examine our boundaries, the silent agreements we form in relationships, and the importance of clear, empathetic communication in maintaining the balance between trust and insecurity. Amidst the heartbreak, there also lies a lesson in accountability and the courage to confront one's emotions before they take a firmer grip on our actions. The fine line between passion and danger calls for mindfulness and awareness that while love can be intensely rewarding, it also demands responsibility. This case serves as a poignant reminder that the stories we tell ourselves in whispers and glances can evolve into larger truths if not addressed with honesty and care. In its broader implications, the tragedy extends an invitation to reflect on our perceptions of justice. It raises enduring questions about how we, as a society, navigate the complex intersections of human emotion, intent, and consequence. Are our systems equipped to truly understand and adjudicate matters so deeply intertwined with personal experience? The lessons from this somber cruise ship journey encourage a collective introspection on how we might cultivate understanding, prevent similar tragedies, and foster environments where love can flourish free of fear and resentment. By embracing these lessons, we pave the way for future relationships grounded in respect, empathy, and the promise of growth. The echoes of this case linger, not only as a cautionary tale, but as a beacon guiding us toward a more compassionate and enlightened path. This tragic narrative, set amidst the alluring opulence of a cruise ship journey, serves as both an entrancing tale and a stark reminder of the complexities lying beneath the surface of human emotions. We embarked on this voyage through love, jealousy, and betrayal, a love triangle steered by passion's unpredictable currents, ultimately leading to a night forever shadowed by loss. Emily's story, intertwined with those of Lucas and James, highlighted the dual nature of love as both a source of profound connection and a catalyst for unforeseen turmoil. As we navigated through their intertwined destinies, we were challenged to reflect on the thin line that separates affection from rivalry, and how unchecked emotions can spiral into tragic consequences. This story also posed poignant questions about the nature of justice in matters of the heart, and how we interpret accountability when emotions play such a pivotal role. As we conclude this journey, we invite you to ponder this. In a world where emotions can mystify and consume, how do we foster relationships rooted in trust, understanding, and open communication? What lessons can we draw from tales like this to cultivate empathy and resilience in our own lives? We encourage you to share your thoughts and personal experiences related to these themes. Let's continue this conversation together, delving into the intricate dance of human relationships and the enduring quest for balance. If you found this exploration engaging, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell to join us for more deep dives into captivating mysteries and the stories that compel us to think deeper about the world around us.